Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Fantasy Files. And today I have the honor to sit down with Elina from the European symphonic Viking metal band Leaves' Eyes. I hope I got all that right. I don't know. I know you're a lot of Viking metal, sometimes symphonic, but I just love the band. And where are you joining me from today?
Thank you for having me. I'm joining you from Germany, so
Okay.
yeah, based in Regensburg.
And how are things going?
Yeah, very good, very good. Can't complain.
And of course, we're here to talk about the new album that you guys released on March 22nd on AFM Records. And I do have my record with me, The Myths of Fate. I'm a
Yes.
big fan of the new album. I've been listening to it a lot, walking, and I got a little doggy and I take it out on walks all the time. So we're out on the trails, out in nature, just listening to this album. I mean, it starts out so strong with Forged by Fire, The Realm of the Dark Waves. Who Wants to Live Forever, I think, is a beautiful song. Hammer to the Gods, Into Eternity. I mean, it just keeps going. That whole first side is so powerful. And that's my take on the album, of course. And of course, you've been busy releasing videos. I went and started to dig in when I talked about interviewing you. How many videos you've done from this album? I believe there's five of them. Hammer of the Gods, Into Eternity, Who Wants to Live Forever, The Realm of the Dark Waves, and Forged by Fire. Maybe you'd like to chat a little bit about each one of those songs that you've kind of picked to release as singles or videos, and if there's any interesting stories about the filming of these videos are all epic. I mean, it seems like pretty high budget to do all this stuff, and it's very fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, nice to hear that you like the album and of course the videos. Yeah, it's Alex who is the main guy making also the videos at the moment. So it was
Hmm.
a lot of work, but also a lot of fun. As you can imagine, very different kind of videos. Forged by Fire was filmed in more in the summertime, so it was really hot, and we
Oh,
had the pyros to top that hotness. So I still remember melting. And then on the other hand, we went to Iceland, so that was like the complete opposite. It was freezing ourselves. But beautiful landscapes. You can see them in many of those videos, and it was really unbelievable trip. And yeah, it was really great to be able to make so many videos and bring the stories also in a visual form to people. And
hmm.
as you say, they all look amazing.
So what are some of the stories? I mean, this album's more about myths,
Hmm.
more than the history of Nordic. And let's talk a little bit about Hammer of the Gods.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to, for this album, to go a little bit more into the mystical, mythical side of the sagas. It's all still tied into the Viking eras and
Hmm.
multiple, you can't really completely separate them, and that's fine, but we wanted to steer away a little bit from the historic concepts, like the last Viking was, for example,
Hmm.
based on that. And yeah, well, Hammer of the Gods, it's the legendary hammer of the Thor
Hmm.
that rules the weather and is basically unbeatable in the hands of Thor.
Yep.
And yeah, it was a great topic for the song, and I think it fits really well in the album.
In Eternity, what's the meaning behind that song? What do you have behind that?
Well, that's actually a song that I wrote for the album, and it was inspired by a little bit more personal topic, as it was. It came when Alex's mom sadly passed away,
Okay.
and I wrote a song for her, and it's basically a anthem for our ancestors. It's about the yeah what's happening when we die and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very personal song, and maybe a little bit different from the others, but also fits nicely into the narrative of the album.
And Who Wants to Live Forever seems to be in that same mold a little bit, like
Yeah, that's about the goddess of the youth. So she's basically, the legend tells, she holds the golden apples.
yes, in the
It's
video I
the
saw you. Yeah,
yeah. keeps the gods youthful and forever young and everything like that. So I think that fits also nowadays quite a lot. People still looking for the eternal youth. Never
I'm trying to stay young. I'm getting old, but I'm trying to keep young. Heavy metal and rock's keeping me young. But and Realm of the Dark Waves, kind of like a song about kind of waiting for the man to come back home or something. Is that what I get?
No, actually, that's about the goddess of the sea, Ran,
Oh,
who,
okay.
yeah, she brings the dead, drowned sailors into the bottom of the sea and turns them into these sea spirits. So you can see it
Oh,
on the video as well.
yeah, yeah, true. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking more of just listening to it other than the video. Yeah, well, I was listening to it and just hearing you sing that, and it's another great song. And of course, Forged by Fire was the last video that you did on the album. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one we released back in December, and it's about the magic sword thing that, yeah, was brought a lot of misery to a lot of people, and
Mm.
yeah, was basically made by two dwarves who then cursed it, and yeah, it's a great story as well. It was kind of difficult to get all of it in the video. It sometimes is, but you can still, when you watch it, you can see the story there.
Great. Are there any other songs on the album that you'd like to discuss or make a point of that weren't done in a video form?
Yeah, well, I mean, all the songs have great stories, and you can really merge into them. And if you're interested, you can always read more about them. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's also nice for people to make their own visual
Sure.
ideas and stuff. So I always don't want to also explain too much
Okay.
about
Okay.
it. But if you want, then yeah, just ask and I will.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, Goddess of the Night, Elder Spirits, another song that I thought was pretty good off the record. Then we could go on to other things.
Sure. Yeah, so basically, well, Goddess of the Night is basically what it is about. It's the goddess of the night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's she's riding this chariot pulled by horses, and she's basically starting the circle of the night. And it's a peaceful song, and you know, ballad and everything. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
self-explanatory a little bit.
Yes.
And Elder Spirit you mentioned as well. That's
Mm-hmm.
the people believe that everyone has their own spirit kind of guard in life, and someone who is believing that there's someone watching and guarding them, and it's these elder trees. So that's what this song is about. It's also very, very visual. I would have easily made a great video as well, I think.
Okay. And now, let's go over the current members in Leaves Eyes as we're talking today. Is it the same lineup from the last album?
No, not quite. Tosso, who was, well, still is our great friend, he decided to leave the band back in around 2020. So this album was made without him, and it was, of course, a little bit of a difference for us. Changed the dynamics a little bit because he was heavily, heavily involved in the writing of the music.
Okay.
So now it was a little bit different process, and we also had Jonah writing all these amazing orchestrations for us. So yeah, it was a little bit different kind of process this time, and also great. And I think the album also sounds a little bit different this time.
Yeah, definitely. And so who are the other current members of the band? For people that don't know.
Well, yeah, it's Alex and me, of course,
Uh,
and then Luke is a guitarist, and Mickey, another guitarist who also actually is leaving the band right now,
oh,
and then Joris, our drummer. So, and then we usually have bass players joining us for tours and stuff. So, yeah, it's always a little bit evolving in this industry and stuff, but it's still the core is still there.
what's some of your history personally, getting involved in that? I mean, we could even go back. What got you started in music? You went to school for music. I read on another interview, And I guess my second question, we can answer them all at once, would be what got you into the heavy metal and the hard rock or side of it?
Yeah, I grew up in a musician family, so my whole family are classical musicians. So that was kind of, I was, yeah, always surrounded by music, and decided then to start taking some lessons when I was around 17, and that snowballed, and I ended up studying a degree in music, and then moved to London because I still wanted to continue. I was always writing music as well. And then back there, I got into more into the rock and metal scene. I met some people and they introduced me this whole world, and I got really into it and started also writing music just to for myself, for my voice, because I didn't really think that I could do it with my voice. I was not really familiar with the whole,
Hmm.
yeah, let's say female fronted scene, and started my own band, Enkel Nation back then, nowadays Angel Nation,
Okay.
and then joined Leaves Eyes 2016. So it was all like a long and very hard work road, but here I am, and it's been really amazing, amazing
So
journey.
you've been with Leaves Eyes for 8 years now? About
Yeah,
8 years? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Cool. What other notes do I have on my list for you? Yes. What are some of the influences what are some of the bands that you really are passionate about in the metal world?
I am kind of weird in a way that I take inspiration from a really broad variety of music.
That's
Not
good.
only metal, I listen to also all kinds of music, and not only one band or not only like whole album. I love different songs, different,
Mm-hmm.
of course, different, admire different singers a lot. I always used to love Freddie Mercury from Queen, and he's kind of one of my idols.
Cool.
I love 80s rock and metal, all the Journey, Survivor, that kind of style. I love
Mm-hmm.
that kind of music. And yeah, just anything actually. It's very surprising sometimes what inspires you. So I don't really limit myself too much.
Okay. And Leaves Eyes, I read some are actually celebrating 20 years now. Is that this year, 20 years? And of course, when you go out live, are there any songs that you enjoy performing the most the from the live era, I would say?
Yeah, I mean, I like all of the songs, and some of them are
Hmm.
actually really great, especially to play live.
Hmm.
So one song that I often mention is "Edge of Steel." That's
Oh yeah.
from the previous album before I joined the band,
Hmm.
and of course, "My Destiny," for example. That's a classic
Oh, of
one.
course, yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, there's many songs we've also done in past, not so much anymore, but it's a nice mix. You also want that mix, so it's
Hmm.
nice, a bit of old, bit of new, and slow songs and fast songs and everything. So it's always nice, and I feel certain songs definitely fit better for my voice than others,
Hmm.
and I always try to make them my own so that I can bring them to stage as a me because that's the only way I can do it. So yeah,
Cool,
I
cool.
enjoy playing all the old songs as well.
So of course, I'm here in the United States. I'm by New York City. I own a record store called Rock Fantasy that we've been around since for 38 years, and I catch
Oh,
a lot of the
cool.
tours. And I got to catch you on tour back in 2016. I believe it's when your first United States tour.
Yeah,
You were on the road with Sonata Arctica and Omnium Gatherum. Of course, you're Finnish too, right? You're from Finland
I'm
originally.
from Finland.
That's what
Yes.
I thought. Then, so it was all the Finnish metal bands on the road. I got to catch you at the Starland Ballroom and actually did the meet and greet at a record store, which is no longer in business. I think they're a victim of the
Oh, yeah.
pandemic. Vintage Vinyl. I don't know if you remember that stop. But anyhow, that was before the show in Sayreville, New Jersey. Another memorable night on that tour, and I found the poster. I had it hung up in the record shop. Was this great?
Ah,
I don't know if you can see it or not. It's from the Upstate Concert Hall, which is in upstate New York. It was on a Tuesday night. and they combined the Dark Tranquility Swallow the Sun tour with your tour, and we
Okay.
drove like an hour and a half, 2 hours to it. It was on a Tuesday night in November. It was like a presidential election going on, and there was like we felt like we were at this European festival because of all these great bands. And I remember being right up front for you guys. So I thought that was just a little. I'm talking about me, even I'm interviewing you, but I just figured I'd let you know and see
Oh,
if you
cool.
remember that night. And it was like you guys and Swallow the Sun and Dark Tranquility. It was just a great show.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Yeah.
It was just memorable to me because it was like a Tuesday night and people were like watching the election. I'm like, who cares about politics? We're watching
Right.
metal that night.
Okay.
But and then I saw you guys on tour with Sabaton and Battle Beast, correct? Was that 2017?
Yeah.
And is
Yes.
that the last time you've been to North America for a tour?
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been a long time.
And I guess the question that everyone from the United States and North America asks you, will you come back?
Yeah, it's we've been asked that a lot, and of course we would love to come back. It's always the question of logistics and everything to make
Mhm.
it happen. We already had a lot of plans to come, and then Corona came and ruined it
Oh,
all.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
really hope now it will actually happen, and we would love to come back, of course.
I know. I just read an interview. I think it was Tony from Sonata Arctica just saying how difficult it's become for you, the European bands, to come over here to the United States and North America or Canada in general financially. And
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
and I just saw a couple of European tours. I just saw Camelot and Hammerfall were with Ad Infinitum the other night. I saw
Oh
that
yeah.
tour. So I try to go out anytime because I'm a big fan of this style of music. And what are your touring plans? I mean, we get people to watch us over the pond too in Europe. And what you have any touring plans for the summer over there?
Well, we just finished actually our tour, so we did now in Europe
Okay.
a couple of weeks, which was really great. Absolutely amazing to play live again. It's been too long, and now the summer, we have to see how it goes
Mm,
with everything. We have plans, of course, for the rest of the year, and we just have to finalize everything, and hopefully, we'll be playing much more in the future.
good. You did fly over to do the 70,000 tons of metal cruise this year, didn't you?
We did that as well. Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
true.
And how was that experience? You've been on it before. I was looking at some video today and I saw you were there in 2020. So right before the lockdowns came, you were there. And now
Yeah.
you're back 4 years later. Yep.
Yeah, we also played 2018. So I think this was my third time.
Oh, okay. So you were there
Yeah.
2 years in a row and then of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Yeah, but it was really great. Awesome, of course, weather
Oh
and
yeah.
great people. Nice to meet everyone. Also, the fans and other musicians play the shows. It was just really nice, I have to say.
Cool. So anything else you'd like to chat about? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm just really happy that you like the new album, and
Mm-hmm.
I would love to come and play it live, of course, over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for the support and thank you for the interview, and I really hope to see you guys soon.
And we hope to see you in the USA again. But and I got excited today. I was just looking through my social media, getting ready to interview you. I see Amorphous and Dark Tranquility are coming back to the States, so pretty happy
Okay,
about
nice.
that. So
Yeah,
two other my favorite bands from over there. So
cool.
anyhow, so anything, I guess we'll wrap this up. It's a quick little interview with Elina, and I'm so glad she took the time to join us on the Rock Fantasy YouTube channel. So
My pleasure. Thanks for
hit
having me.
like and subscribe, and please go over and check out Leaves Eyes. Go to their website, go to their social media, and you can find it on the web and buy some t-shirts and buy the new record. I've got it. I've got the new record in stock at Rock Fantasy. I've got the CD, I've got the vinyl. So stop by and see us if you're in the area. Cool. So we will see you next time. Thanks, Elina.
Thanks.
And